Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Monday. You all know what that means. It's time for us here at Mouth of the Mark to review Monday Night Raw. If my wife's gigantic fire noise doesn't blow into my room. All right. Anyway, so I'm here. I'm Matthew Talon, as always, joined also, as always, by Daniel John Schaefer. Daniel, what's up, buddy?
Living the dream, man. Pretty good Raw up from last week. Not too bad. Definitely an upgrade. It's definitely a good start to Raw when I get a Heyman segment for 20 minutes instead of the Authority. And he delivered gold tonight. Just served it up. It was a great promo. It was a good way to open Raw. They use the same formula they always use, but it just felt fresher today for some reason.
I wrote down on my notes, it's hard, we see him so much in a heel role that we really kind of forget just how good Paul Heyman is because of how good he is even in the face role too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was a gold promo from start to finish. Even though they had the heel tendencies, he just delivered that punch at the end for the face, for like the face side of it. It was just an A+ promo, man. Just A+ all around.
I agree. I feel like it was a great segment. I love that Brock doesn't have to say anything, like, ever. I'm sure he loves it in his contract, too, because he's like, oh, he's probably thinking the whole time when he's not speaking, he's like, every, bounce is, $2,000. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, yeah. I'm just sitting here making, 5 figures, and I'm just literally standing in the ring doing nothing but looking awesome. That's a pretty great gig, man. Congratulations that you've worked yourself in your career to a point where you can literally do nothing and get a huge pop.
Yeah, absolutely. If I could get paid $50,000 a show just to show up, not open my mouth, and get to do what he did tonight, yeah, props to that. But as awesome as the promo was, the Kane pictures made me laugh my ass off. The pictures of Kane in Hawaii made me laugh my ass off. And I know it's just like, oh, what have they done? But, just think about this. Somebody in WWE got paid to Photoshop Kane in some Hawaii pictures. You think Brock has a good job? How freaking hilarious is that?
No, yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. And I liked it too. And I liked the little cartoony thing they did with J&J after that. I thought it was kind of clever. But at the same time too, as a fan, I enjoyed it. As an internet smart mark that does a podcast every week, I felt like it was dumb to devalue them going into this main event. But at the same time, it's not that big of a deal.
I actually disagree. I think it's okay to devalue them because you need Seth built. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you didn't really achieve that, though.
I'll disagree, but we'll get to that. So the opening actual match was Big Show and Ryback, and Miz was ringside with a live microphone. So you knew some crazy shit was going to happen. And the match wasn't that bad. I've seen some pretty bad Big Show matches, and I've seen some terrible Ryback matches, but this one wasn't that bad. I've seen a lot worse out of both guys. And I don't think this was the worst match of the night either. But I gave it a pretty good grade. I popped when Big Show did the old alley-oop. You remember the alley-oop from all the old SmackDown versus Raw games? He did the freaking reverse power. I popped for the alley-oop. I was like, yeah, vintage Big Show,
Yeah.
I
was waiting for the final cut.
Yeah. But, I like the DQ finish. Like I said last week with this whole triple threat angle, I like the DQ finishes because it doesn't make anybody look particularly weaker going into the triple threat match.
Yeah.
And I like that Miz got his, but I wish they would have saved it for the go home. I understand they're in Chicago, so they have to do big stuff in Chicago. So it makes sense. I just wish it was the go home because it would have been such a better. Because now what are they going to do next week? You know what I mean? Like they've got one more week. So is Miz going to get his on the other two, or is Miz and Big Show going to get theirs on right? What do you do? Because the main bad guy out of this has been the Miz. He's been the really vocal one, and he got his already. And there's one more week. That's my only drawback. But I gave that whole match and little segment a C+. So
I actually gave it the same grade, and I think I agree that the match was better, but I don't necessarily think it was the work. I really do feel like Miz having the live mic almost made the match itself better. Having that third component there for them to kind of lean on was great. Big Show it continues to work really well, better than he has in a while. I felt like it was I agreed, like the vintage spots were really cool. The second rope elbow drop actually looked good. It was clean. Like it wasn't just like a big guy clunkily like jumping and landing on his back and throwing an elbow. Like he arced it, he gave it. I mean, I marked for it. It was a good spot. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, man. I'm on the Miz train now. I hope he gets the belt. I think that I like the way I thought it was well written. I think that the way they're going with the angle, like kind of making the focus be more Big Show against Ryback, and then Miz sneaks out a win. I think that could be what they're doing. But I think going back to what you were saying about saving it for the go home show, I don't think they want to turn Big Show with this match. I don't think they want to make him babyface. So I think in the go home show, he's the one that really Ryback's gotten shine, Miz got his. Show hasn't really gotten any shine yet, really in the whole angle. So I think that they're going to probably do that. I think, but yeah, overall I gave it a C+ too.
So after that, I don't remember if there was any filler or anything like that. I know the next match was Paige versus Brie. Did they do any? They did the little segment with Jamie and Joey, didn't they? Where they were outside the outside of what is it? The Cubs park.
Wrigley Field.
Yeah, there you go. See, I just can't remember names. But yeah, they were outside of Wrigley Field, and they did that little thing. But then Paige versus Brie was next. I have written down that it was pretty short. It was almost too short to grade. And I'm not a fan of the whole 3 versus 1 angle with this. But my holdout is that for the payoff at SummerSlam, we get NXT people coming up. So I'm holding out and I'm reserving judgment until that point. I like that Paige got the win last week on Alicia Fox, and I thought that maybe she'd get the win on Brie and then just have Nikki put her back down. But as much as I don't like it, it makes sense that the numbers game wins this week and not goes 2 weeks in a row losing. So
yeah,
from a booking standpoint, it makes sense. As a mark, give me the NXT women, for God's sakes, and let's get this over with. So I don't have a grade for it because it was too short, in my opinion, for what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I actually thought it wasn't a bad match, and I thought it was a short match, but I didn't feel it was like a squash that was too short to really measure. I thought they got I think they got like 6 minutes or something like that, which isn't.
Did they? It certainly didn't feel like it. It felt like they were just going, like go from spot to spot to spot, and it's like before I knew it.
Well, yeah, but I feel like that's how Divas matches just are now. And maybe not NXT women's matches because they actually get 10 to 12 minutes. But I understand, and I actually thought that Brie worked really well in the match. I thought she looked really clean, really crisp, way better than Nikki, way better than that cluster that they had at the Beast in the East pay-per-view or whatever. And I liked Brie going over. I agree because I feel like. How we're talking about 3 versus 1, but at the same time, it's really 2 entities. There's like the Bella family or Bella Army or whatever it is they're calling themselves, Bella Squad, whatever it is. But and then there's Paige. She's her own thing, And to me, the beatdown was gratifying to me because I feel like there's no way they do that and then they wait until SummerSlam. I don't think that there's going to be someone in the match, but I think some NXT diva comes out with her and gets involved on the outside. Possibly Charlotte, but they've got this big, program that they're still wanting to do with Charlotte, in NXT with, what's her name? The
Dana.
terrible new girl they have in
Dana
NXT.
Brooke.
Yeah, Dana Brooke. So I don't know. I hope maybe they'll bring up Bailey because I haven't seen her in a while, and I feel like it would make sense. She's a solid worker, and you kind of need a baby face. I know Charlotte's a baby face, but I feel like when they bring her up, she's gonna have to be a heel to get over the way she did in NXT. So yeah, I mean, overall, I gave it a C plus because I felt like it was on the upside, and I could see where the writing was going, and I liked that direction.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. It just felt short to me. Maybe it's because I was just kind of paying attention, this time. So I don't know. It just felt short to me. But yeah, I mean, the ring work was there. Brie didn't look super clunky, and I think that one-on-one match was way better than Beast in the East when they did that triple threat. But
Yeah.
I don't know if that's I would say that's more Tamina's fault than Nikki's fault. So I'll just throw that out there. But that's on our Beast in the East review. We complained about that one a good bit.
Yeah.
But so after that was Roman Reigns versus Sheamus, and I wrote this down. We talked at one point. You and I, and actually a couple of people in our little group, we talked about how Brock versus Sheamus has the potential to be pretty freaking good because they're both really big brawlers, right? Well, we really look over Sheamus and Roman Reigns because this match, I was entertained as shit for this match. Like, I wasn't like popping out of my chair, but like it had some pretty rough spots in it in terms of like, just striker brawler spots. It was a pretty good match. I love the count-out finish. I love that they're letting Bray stick true to this anyone but you gimmick, and Roman hasn't won a match since that started. So it's really stacking your deck against Roman Reigns. So I like that. It makes sense, and it makes Bray look good. And I know, Roman probably will lose at Battleground and win at SummerSlam, if I had to guess. But, I mean, they're both going to come out of this looking great. Sheamus came out of this match looking pretty good because obviously he got a win, but it wasn't at a sacrifice of Roman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Orton post-match, beat down, whatever, like that was okay too. I have a sour taste in it because I just don't want to see Sheamus and Orton again. But Orton was fired up as hell, and the crowd actually got behind Orton, which they're in Chicago, and they know Sheamus and Orton is coming. So for Orton to come out fired up and the crowd actually get behind him, that goes to show how infectious of a hype personality Orton can be when he's motivated. Because any other time, like Chicago, Philly, New York, or New Jersey, they'd have torn that up, man. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it would have been a shitstorm. But Orton came out guns blazing, and they got behind it. So I gave the match and the post-match segment a B+ because it was executed well, and the ring work was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it wasn't a bad match. Again, though, I just feel like there's some, like we said it last week on our Raw review about, there's just something about Sheamus now that I don't want to see him anymore. Like, I mean, and I feel like every time I see him with the Money in the Bank, it hurts me even more because I feel like some of it was like not knowing what Sheamus's future is, but it's like knowing that the machine is going to push him at some point again. I just feel like it wasn't the right move for him. I feel like that briefcase is actually hurting him, and it was a poor decision to put it on him. I mean, when you could have used it on somebody else, and because I mean. I feel like with the Sheamus situation, with the Money in the Bank briefcase, you're going to have another situation, which this is like 3 years in a row that it's been, the guy's going to hold on to that briefcase for about a year, and it's like, I think we should have had somebody that's going to cash in 2 or 3 months down the line or like the same night. You know what I mean? It should have happened. This would have been the year for that to happen to me. You can always have #1 contender matches. You can always have, something else that you can do. I just felt like, I feel like Sheamus is just stale, and he's not – knowing his future hurts him to me. The match was decent. the match was decent, but I felt like the crowd really buried the match itself in the beginning, and that hurt the grade to me too. Because I think I wasn't really into spots where I would have been. I mean, they were chanting like CM Punk and like I think they started carrying Jerry Lawler at one point, and you know what I mean, like
JBL
or JB. Oh yeah, JBL. So and I was just like, you know, it's like it just and there was a slow, boring chant that kind of happened for a little while too. And then when the Orton thing came out and it popped and it worked, but I felt like it was the flip side for me because on my couch I was like, oh no, damn it, like again with this program, you know what I mean? But I mean, at least the matches will be good, and we know that they're not going to be main event Orton and Sheamus. So overall, I gave the whole segment a C plus, just because I felt like the new program is stale, and I'm just not interested in Sheamus right now because I know they're going to sit on him anyway.
Right. I almost wonder if Sheamus is going to be the guy or another guy to cash in and either lose or win it and then lose it the next night or something, like a quick transition. You know, and I know knowing the E, that's not going to happen. He's going to hold on to it for a while, and he'll probably cash in after WrestleMania, and he'll probably hold it for Extreme Rules, lose it at Payback or something like that. I don't think he'll hold it for a long period of time. He won't do like Seth, where Seth has it at Mania and he's going to go into SummerSlam or into Battleground with it. I don't think he'll hold it that long when he finally does get it. But
right.
You know what annoys me most about Sheamus, and it's so petty, but it annoys me. His little where he straightens his mohawk up because the crowd chants "You look stupid." Like to spite the crowd, he straightens that mohawk. Like I know it's a way to generate heat, but it annoys the shit out of me. Like
well,
it just,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's just.
That's the thing. I like heel Sheamus. I just feel like
I do too.
He's written so poorly, and it's just like. I don't know. He's just written very poorly. I have no investment in him.
I agree. But you know what wasn't poor, dude? That Authority promo between Triple H and Seth. That was so good.
Dude, Triple H is just on fire lately with his backstage, with his Seth Rollins segments, with him and when it's him and Seth. Like those past couple, like beef you up, motivate you promos have been Heyman level, top notch promos.
But you know what the best part of it was? He didn't have to do much. All he did was say, yeah. Like, I mean, he threw the idea out, but I feel like that segment was really for your fan that keeps up, because that promo is full circle from Payback, from the Fatal 4-Way, the Show Them promo backstage. And it came full circle. So, like, you know, if you followed it, you're like, oh, that's what that's from. And now it makes sense. It is the other shoe on the other foot. And it makes this perfect little circle. It was great, you know, like, and I gave that promo an A+ because it was simple. It was simple, effective, and delivered to perfection on both parts. So that was great. After that, though, it's not my moment of the night, but I'm kind of excited. Rusev is all healed. Rusev is all better. We're going to get Rusev and Ziggler finally.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for it because I'm just ready for it to be over. Like, that's terrible of me. But because here's the thing. Everyone that is either watching this or knows anything about the dirt sheets, they know about Ziggler's contract coming up soon. And they know that the rumor out is that Ziggler is either going to get a better contract with a better push, or he might leave. And personally, I want this Rusev thing to be done to where I can see if he gets better or if they use Rusev to write him off.
Yeah, I heard. I actually heard that. No, I mean it's not. It's a few more months. It's not like it wouldn't be they would. It would even be it would be too long. Like I think there's still like 4 or 5 months left on his contract. So they're not going to extend the Rusev program that long.
Okay, yeah. Rusev's got 1 to 2 more months tops. I think SummerSlam's going to be the end of it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. I have heard maybe because being in Nashville, we have this there's Squared Circle Radio on Saturday mornings in Nashville, and like actual sports talk radio station, but it's a Saturday morning when no one's driving and no one listens to the radio. But they were talking about Jeff Jarrett and Global Force Wrestling, and he lives here, he's had ties here, he started TNA here. There's a bunch of marks here, and one of the guys was saying that Ziggler, he said that Ziggler and Global Force could be like Jarrett could want Ziggler to be the face of Global Force Wrestling, and
he could be,
and that would be and it's almost like I don't know, man, like he could carry that, he could be the small fish in the big fish in the small pond. You know what I mean? Like he could be the guy that completely carries that company for the first year or two, and be a world caliber, be the main event guy in that scene. You know what I mean?
But here's the funny thing, dude. It's not a small pond. Like, Jarrett's got an assload of affiliates. Have you seen that roster?
No, I know. But I'm saying, like, going up against the E, right off the bat. That's what I mean.
Everyone's a small fish compared to that.
That's what I mean. Of course, it's top of the food chain in the Indies for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the talent that he would work against. And that's another thing. I mean, I know that he's been with the E for forever, and I know he probably wants to finish with the E. But in the meantime, dude, like if it was me, I mean, Global Force, and I mean that's a lot of money to give up too, I suppose. But I mean, you could wrestle these guys from Japan, Okada, Nakamura.
Dude, AJ Styles versus Dolph Ziggler.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I would die, dude. That'd be great. That would be amazing.
I would pay for a Global Force pay-per-view. I wouldn't live stream it. I'd pay for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's one of those that you'd pay for.
No, I agree. I'd buy it.
But all fantasy Ziggler booking aside,
agreed. Yeah.
I gave the whole segment a C+ to a B-. I don't like that Summer Rae is involved in it. I don't like that they use the women as like the go-between to get Rusev to attack Ziggler. I would have more rathered like Rusev just beat the shit out of him for no reason. Like not even let the women get involved. Just like Ziggler opens his mouth, goes to kiss Lana, and Rusev just nails him. You know what I mean? Like that would have been better. But that's what brought it down for me. I'm so happy that Rusev is healed because Rusev's a great talent. Him and Ziggler are going to put on a great match. I mean, there's no doubt. You know what I mean? There's no doubt that it's going to be a great match. And they may not even do anything at Battleground. They may have this beatdown be reason for Ziggler to not be at Battleground and save the one match for SummerSlam.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with the whole Rusev being healed thing being an awesome thing. I just feel like it would have been smarter to have the payoff be, next week. I feel like you shouldn't have gone with the crutches thing and showed that he's back and he's healed. I would have waited one more week. I would have had him like maybe attack him and then sell the foot a little bit. You know what I mean? Like
fake sell it. Not fake sell it, but yeah.
And then just attack him that week and then announce it right on the go home because we all know it's happening anyway. I just feel like it would have been smarter that way. But that's kind of nitpicking. I mean, I gave the segment a B-. So
this is weird. We're close to the same page on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So after that was I won't call this the worst match of the night. I'll call it the quickest match of the night. Bo Dallas versus Dean Ambrose. And I think in my notes right here, I said incoming squash match. So like as soon as Bo came out and then Ambrose's music hit, I was like, yeah, it's over. And sure enough, they just went through the motions where Dallas got a little bit of offense in, got a little bit of heat in. Ambrose got his counter, got his comeback, hit his signature, hit triangle for the finisher, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was weird. Did you notice the huge Bo Dallas chants though? Like,
you mean the let's go Ambrose Weibo leave?
yeah, like I was shocked. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
It's
What?
Chicago,
Like,
man.
yeah,
Chicago doesn't
but
care.
dude, a huge market that likes Bo Dallas, like
It's not
in
no.
Orlando, I could have gotten it. If it was in Oklahoma where he like went to school, I could have gotten it. But it's like, what? Like Chicago? Like
It's
you
not
don't
that at
like
all.
you don't like
It's
powder puffs though. Like, and to me, I don't. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I still don't think that Bo Dallas is that great of a worker. I just don't think he's very good. Like,
I think his gimmick holds him back a lot because I think he can work.
I think you're right too, but I think he needs an overhaul, like a complete overhaul.
He needs the same thing that Bray got whenever he was Husky. I mean, he
Yeah.
had a complete overhaul. You know, I could agree because I think the guy can work. I mean, look whose kid he is. You know what I mean? Like he's not a talentless
Yeah, but
kid.
I mean, come on. We've had this discussion though. He is
But
his
I
dad. He's
understand.
IRS, man. He's IRS. That's who he is.
I understand. I understand. But all I'm saying is that the kid could probably work. And I mean, he worked good matches in NXT. Like the main roster is when it got super
Like,
cheesy.
But that gimmick is an indie gimmick. It gets over in a small crowd where you're going there every week, and pretty much
Agreed.
everybody gets over in NXT. Like, you know, and you're gonna have some guys that kind of suck that slip through, like Baron Corbin. He's super over, but he kind of sucks. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same kind of idea. Like they're just.
No, I get it. I get it.
All right, Bo Dallas is not a terrible worker. You know, I mean, he's not the worst ever. I'm just saying, like, I don't buy any of it. I don't buy any of it ever. And it's not that it's like his matches are so bad I can't watch them. It's like I just don't care about him as a character or as a worker. He's bland. Like. You know, that's a perfect example with his dad. You know, when his dad was in NWA, he was a star. He was a big guy. Then you slap a crap gimmick on him, and he's working the same style matches. I just don't care about who wants to go back and watch IRS highlights. You know what I mean? Like,
I will give you one better
example. Remember, but he's not. He was never a main event guy. And I mean, I know that we're trying to now we're trying to say, well, you know, not every guy's going to be a main event guy, and I get that, but like, look at your brother, bro. Like, you can't be in Big Brother's shadow forever, you know? Like, he's gonna, and he already is a main event guy.
I'll give you a perfect example of main event talent that was completely ruined by gimmick. 2 words. Simon Dean. Done.
He's not a main event talent. Nova's not a main event talent to me.
Dude, the guy can work.
Like, he can work,
you know what I mean?
but he's not a main event talent. He can't.
Well, he's a main event worker. Let me put it to you that way. His work is main event level, but I mean, he misses out on, you know, the, as Vince would say, the it factor. So I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with Bo. You know, a good worker.
But it could be the it factor could just be held in this gimmick. That's why he doesn't. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right. I agree. I gave the match a B-, and it got a B- because I saw Lesnar guy sitting in the front row.
I gave it a C. I gave it not a C+, not a C-, just a C.
I didn't notice Brock Lesnar guy until this match, so I got a mild pop and I gave it a half a letter grade higher.
There you go.
Now, King R. Trizzle, and yes, I say R. Trizzle instead of King What's Up because I think it sounds better, versus King Barrett was after this. And this, I thought this was going to be my worst match of the night, but I was entertained for it. It got a little bit of time. Barrett got the win, which made it all the better. I still hate that they're booking Barrett like they are, but I mean, it was okay work between the two. I didn't see any huge noticeable botches. You know, and for what time that they had, it made sense. It was a little, you know, little back and forth. It looked nice. For a minute there, I thought they were really going to put R-Truth over again. And I was, plus the flying bullhammer was great. I always pop for the flying bullhammer. So
yeah.
So I gave it. Well, let's see where I put. Yeah, I put a B. I gave it a B.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I felt like it was a waste of Raw TV time. To me, that match felt like
SmackDown main event.
It
or
felt
SmackDown
like,
upper mid card.
It felt like a main event of a SmackDown or like a semi-main of a SmackDown. You know what I mean? Like closing out the first hour of SmackDown. I feel like that's where it belongs. Or like the main event on Superstars or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I just felt like it was a waste of TV time when we know it's probably going to end up being the pre-show or the curtain jerk of the show. I highly doubt it's actually going to be on the pay-per-view, so probably the pre-show. And I feel like the match was decent. I agree. I felt like the spots were good. I was entertained from a wrestling standpoint. It was good. I actually had a buddy that came over to see the baby because he hadn't seen him yet, and he was just kind of watching in the background, and he was kind of entertained by it. And that he hates he thinks wrestling is whatever. But I mean, I gave it a C plus just because I feel like I could be invested in their storyline if they gave me a little bit more time. If they gave me some actual promo work, some substance. I think that they are both great talents that are underutilized that could benefit off of a program with each other. I just think they're doing it poorly right now. So I gave it a C plus.
The highlight of my night. Seth Rollins calls out the Beast. This had me so pumped. I was so pumped. Seth was gold for the second time. Like, that was a gold promo from Seth. Lesnar comes out. They tease him hitting the ring. He backs off. He destroys that car. That car got so fucked. And I was like, yeah.
I thought he was going to hurt himself.
Dude, I thought he was going to hurt himself with those axes.
Like, yeah, I really did.
Because it's like, you could tell he took that first swing at the back door, and when it did impale the car, he got pissed off, and he swung it like a motherfucker. And I thought for sure he was going to cut his hand or some shit like that. But those hatchets look different. Like, they didn't look like your standard fire department hatches. So yeah. I wonder if they replaced them with a different type of metal that wasn't as sharp. You know what I mean? Because if you notice, the way the glass and all broke, it looked like it was hit by, like, super dull, not like... You know what I mean?
I think they just painted them. I think they were shoot, or they, they're just different in different places too. For the fire department axis. So, yeah. I mean, what did you rate the segment overall?
Oh, dude, I gave it an A. I mean, I had to. First off, okay. So first off, I didn't see it at first. I saw the door fly, and then I saw the replay, and I was like, oh, the part of that door that flew off smacked the shit out of somebody. And it did. So the door hit somebody, which you heard the big ooh whenever it hit. So that happened. And can we talk about a second for Brock Lesnar vaulting over the top rope? Can we talk about that for a second? Because this is a guy that fought in the UFC at like 245, 255, and he probably sits at a solid 255, 265 right now in WWE. And this son of a bitch vaulted over the top rope like it was like, I don't know, a fucking box jump that means nothing.
But he's always done that. He's always been able to do that. That's not new.
He has been able to jump onto the apron, which is okay. That's cool. The son of a bitch vaulted over the top rope with one arm.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, he's done that several times though. But yeah, no, I agree. It's impressive. But I mean, I feel like I've seen it. I mean, a million times.
Shut up, you fucking smart.
Sorry, dude. Sorry.
I mean, I get it. But I watching the replay, I was like, okay, he pulled the rope down and rolled himself over. Like, I get it. But in real time, you just watch him swing one leg onto the apron, and then his whole body goes over the top rope. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, the dude's a physical monster. Like, yeah. I got a text message from a friend of mine. He's like, after that, I don't think I'd ever ask Brock for his autograph if I ever met him. I said, screw that. I would. And if he kills me, I'd be happy about it because there's no better way to go out.
Yeah, that's true.
True. I gave it an A, dude. I had to. The destruction of the car. I love the car destruction segments. I always have. I was waiting for JBL to make a Crime Time reference, but he did make a Cena reference later when Cena came out. So, I was waiting for the Crime Time reference.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, I felt like I actually gave the whole segment a B plus, just because I felt like there were just a few spots dude, like the axe handles but without the axe and like the wooden one.
Yeah,
I was like, what? Like why do that? Like the Joey Mercury, but I mean the rest of it was really good.
the belly to belly.
Yeah, I'm dude. But as soon as Brock hit the ring, I love that he just dropped the axe handle and booked it out. And then as soon as he jumped the guardrail when Lesnar was chasing after him, you saw his like arms flail and he'd like skidded around the corner. You know, like it was great. I loved that. That was
It was a Looney Tunes moment.
I love Rollins, dude. I mean, every week I love what he does. I honestly feel like he is underrated too. I feel even with the marks, it's like for some reason everybody's down on him right now. And that's ridiculous because he is the best there is in that company. Period. That's true. I mean, yeah, top notch work. I mean, it was a B+ promo. I would have liked to have seen like some kind of physical altercation, but
It's not going to happen until the pay-per-view, man.
Yeah,
not going to happen.
I get that.
They had Seth wound the Beast 2 weeks ago. They had the Beast in the East. And they're just going to build each other, and the collision will happen at Battleground. It's smart booking. Don't make either of them look any weaker. Build them up with promo work, which they've done great. Seth looks great in the back with Triple H and the Authority. Brock comes out and half-ass, makes him look like a bitch because Brock comes out like a badass and Seth hauls it.
Yeah.
It's working. Both guys are being elevated before Battleground without having to do anything. I think if they do anything, expect a brawl on the go home. Like a show-ending brawl, because this is I feel like this is a Triple H kind of thing. Like Trips has kind of got the reins on this one, I think, and Trips is big about the old like Attitude Era brawl to end Raw. Like he's done that multiple times over the last 3 years. So I would say look forward to that. If not for Battleground, it will be something that's done for SummerSlam.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, that's got to be the direction they're going with it. What was the next match? It was New Day
versus Lucha Dragons. What did you think about that one?
I thought it was pretty good, actually. I thought the work was good. I liked Primetime Players being on commentary. I mean, Titus fumbled it a little bit, but it was entertaining.
He only fumbled it at the end, though.
Do what?
He only fumbled it at the end whenever him and JBL had their little shouting match.
Yeah. And I felt like I kind of felt like he was legitimately getting hot, like being like, yo, stop talking about Rollins for a minute. Like, we need to get our shine on. We need to not be talking about the main event picture. We got these 6 minutes here that we're out on TV, so you need to talk about me. I felt like part of that was
he's gonna get heat,
true. And it's kind of the way all of us marks feel. It's like, yeah, you're pushing these 2 or 3 angles that you have, and they're your major angles, but it's like you're edging your elbow into all the other small angles, and it's not really fair.
Yeah, no, I agree. How'd you what do you think about the match overall? Because I have written that before the commercial break, it looked super clunky. Like the Lucha Dragons going to the top, you could almost did you hear the crowd start to turn on them? Because it's like either Kalisto or Sin Cara started to lose their balance, and New Day was already up, and the Lucha Dragons were up top trying to get their balance, and the crowd just slowly they just turned on it and they started to boo, and then as soon as they hit the dive, they popped, so they got it back. But then they went to commercial, so when they came back from commercial, it was okay. But I gave it a C because of that pre-commercial bit where it was pretty clunky. The ending was predictable. New Day getting the win, they had to going into the pay-per-view. But I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I felt like it was smart writing. I gave the match overall a B just as a match. I didn't notice that at all, actually. I felt like I felt like it wasn't really clunky in the beginning. I just felt like it was kind of rushed. Like they were trying to find their pace. Because I felt like all the spots were crisp. I agree there might have been a few timing issues, but overall it steadied out. Primetime Players entertained me. Well, Titus entertained me. Darren's just not very good on the stick. Although his recent work in the ring has been really good. Probably the best work he's ever done.
Yeah, for sure.
So hopefully I'd like to see some development from him on the mic. I'd like to see somebody like Vince or Trips like look at Titus and say, "Hey, let Darren take the lead out there if you're going to be on commentary." You know what I mean? Like, and look at Darren and be like, "Don't drop the ball." You know what I mean? Like, just do it. Like, you know, I feel like that's the kind of push he needs. But overall, I guess the match would be.
I think Darren will need to lose a bit of his flamboyancy, and I don't mean that in a homophobic type of way, but I more mean that you can notice that since he did his whole reveal thing, he is a lot more flamboyant as a character, and that's fine, and I don't mind it, but he's very over the top on like promos and segments. I think if he reins it in just a little bit, maybe calms down just a little bit, like, keep the adrenaline down a little bit more, I think he'll be fine. I mean, obviously you've got to be on the stick to improve. So I agree. Yeah. Give him a shot at it. Let him work his way up. And
yeah, and I don't know though. I feel like with the flamboyance, like the over the top thing, like I could see him like on his. I feel like you're right. It doesn't really work right now with the primetime thing, but I think as a singles guy, if he just got more mic time in general, even if he was doing that over the top, like, like almost like early '90s Shawn Michaels, you know what I mean? Like Sherry type, like just super like boisterous and like whatever, like. I feel like he could do it really well, and also maintain being a face if he just makes fun of people,
yeah.
I think he could take that because I can see Titus. I don't think Titus can actually do it on his own because I mean, when they broke him up the first time, he was supposed to get a big push and he just couldn't handle it.
I think he's better now though than he was then.
Oh yeah, for sure he is, absolutely. But at the same time, I think they're gonna put him back to that serious, mad. I'm Titus. You know what I'm saying? Like, which I think would be a mistake. I think they should make Darren the heel this time and have him be the flamboyant heel and have Titus be that funny baby face that's over so much right now,
No, I agree. Titus should try babyface if he's gonna do solo again. Titus needs to run at babyface.
Yeah,
but we'll see. The main event was John Cena's Open Challenge, which this is the first time I think that Cena's main evented a Raw with the Open Challenge since he had it. If I recall correctly, he usually opens the third hour. He's not usually the close of the show. And I like that they teased the Cena KO again. And then Cesaro came out. So as excited as I was for Cesaro again, I wish it would have been maybe someone different. You know what I mean? Because anybody who thought that we were going to get KO versus Cena 2 weeks before Battleground, no. I mean, come on. Just you got like I don't know. I'll pull a page out of a Russo book. You got Swerve. We did the Swerve. I don't know. You had to know it wasn't going to happen. It's already been booked on paper for the pay-per-view. So I mean, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, I agree.
I think that was a waste of a segment. I think it was just a way to get Owens on TV. Which is smart, you want to get your eyes on Owens, but I think maybe just a mid-match interference would have done what they were looking to do with that intro segment, and they ended up getting the interference anyway. So here's my thing that I don't like, and I'm going to say what I don't like first because Owens and Cena won. I think is better than Cena and Owens 2. Do you think that Cena and Owens 2 is better than Cena and Owens 1?
I thought they were pretty much both on the same tier, honestly. I thought that they were both equally as good and different. At the time, I would have said probably Cena 1 after Cena 2 happened. But going back and going with the storyline that's happening now, it made sense the way they booked it.
Well, because here's
hard to say. I mean, are we talking about pure match quality, or are we talking about just storyline development?
Match quality.
I'd probably say Cena Owens 1 just for the sheer shock value of the win too.
Okay, because here's my gripe. While we say that for the shock value of Owens winning, the announce team, which of course is being fed from the back, it's being booked as Cena and Owens 2 is the match of the year candidate. So it's like they're saying that the second time was better than the first time because Cena got the win. Okay, whatever. I feel like they were trying to do the same thing with Cesaro. Like, oh, well, Cena and Cesaro 1 was great, but check it out for round 2. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, did they think that maybe Cesaro was going to – I mean, come on. Like, Cesaro wasn't going to win. I mean, yeah, he looked great 2 weeks in a row. That's awesome. But, you know, just I don't like how they're doing it. You know, I didn't like how they did that with Owens, where they booked the second match as the match of the year candidate, because I personally think that the first one was better. And the shock value does play into effect because it's about match quality. And Cena putting someone over clean is a pretty big freaking shock factor. You know what I mean? So that I didn't like that. And for the love of God, he needs, if he's going to keep doing that goddamn stunner, he needs to stop missing it.
Yeah.
Like, hook the freaking neck. Like, just, you know, like, that made me mad.
They just need to tell him, yeah, dude, stop doing the stunner. It's not clean. You mess it up every time on TV. But he's John Cena, so they're not going to do that.
Yeah, I agree. That springboard uppercut that Cesaro did was a thing of beauty. Love that. Showed up that springboard stunner, like, you know, no competition. I actually thought Cesaro got hurt when they did the back body drop onto the timekeeper's area. It looked like he hit his head, and he immediately rolled over to the timekeeper and asked for a bottle of water. And I was like, oh, please don't tell me he's got a concussion. Please don't tell me he's got a concussion. Yeah. You know, I got worried for a minute, but I had rewound it, and I looked. His back broke his fall. So, he hit on his lower back, and then his head went down. So, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. And the match didn't stop. So, I was like, awesome, sweet.
Yeah.
So, overall, I popped for the Super AA. I popped for Super. I popped for Super RKOs. I popped for all the, stupid top rope shit. So, I popped for the Super AA. That was pretty cool. Because you don't see Cena do it a lot anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's done it a couple of times, but it's not something that he goes to the well for a lot.
Yeah.
I popped for it. I thought Cesaro was going to hit that super neutralizer, and I was like, please don't, because he's going to kick out and he's going to kill the neutralizer.
Agreed. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
Because he hit it. He hit the neutralizer after the swing and all this shit, and he kicked out. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
All right. But everybody knows Cena kicks out of at least one finisher, most of the time, too. So, we knew it was coming, and I guess because we know it, it doesn't devalue it as much as you think it would. But I don't know. I don't like kick out of multiple finishers. I like it whenever it's two high profile guys. But Cesaro, unfortunately, is not a high profile guy to the E right now. He's getting there in ring because you can't deny the guy's ring work, but. Protect finishers. That's all I'm saying. Protect the finish. Yeah, I know Rock and Austin kicked out of rock bottoms and stunners. They did each other's finishers, for Christ's sake. And I just you get what I'm saying with
but those guys were epic guys.
Those are your best of the best.
Those guys are Mount Rushmore guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Those two guys are the top 3 biggest of all time, so, you can't.
I know it's an unfair comparison, but those two guys deserve that because of their tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They are a tier above what the top tier is. So.
But I think Cena's in the top 5. I think Cena is number 5. In my opinion. So. I don't know, man. What was your overall grade for the match?
The match itself, I gave it a A-. It was a good match. It was. I'd say if it's not better, it's as good as their first one, except for the couple of scary spots that I saw. I was worried about Cesaro for a minute. The way that Cesaro rolled around that crossface was pretty cool. I thought that was kind of inventive, just some kind of cheap technical stuff that I saw them doing. I looked at the small things, and it seemed like their second go-around, they executed the technical side of it a lot better.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't really like, aside from Cena's couple of Cena spots, I didn't like that Cesaro went for the pop-up powerbomb and Cena countered it into a head scissor or a Hurricane Rana. Because I couldn't tell if he went for the pop-up because Cena's legs went up like he went for the pop-up. But he could have just been going for the big uppercut. And Cena just countered from the start. I don't know. But the way it looked like he was going for the pop-up.
It looked like he was testing a spot. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. So we'll see Cena countering the pop-up powerbomb with a Hurricane Rana at Battleground. I mean, so save that shit for live shows.
Yeah, I thought with the opening of the match, I thought that the Cena promo was surprisingly bland tonight. I felt like
it wasn't short, dude. He didn't have time.
I mean, even for Cena, probably because it was Chicago or whatever.
I was saying, it was Chicago, dude.
But the Owens promo was good. He came out with fire. I'm really hoping that this whole thing is leading to a Cesaro-Owens feud when Owens has the U.S. title. That will be phenomenal work.
Yes.
And I feel like it would benefit both guys. But then what do you do with Cena? Then again, I mean, you could just have him retain the title and then just go straight into Owens and Cesaro. And just have, keep the U.S. challenge going or whatever, which is probably what they're going to do. But I really think that they should give the belt to Owens. I'm kind of torn. I thought the match was really good. I thought it was just as good as a match pro wrestling-wise as last week. But again, just because I had just seen it last week, it did feel like a little bit staler, even though it wasn't. And I felt like there were too many false finishes. Like by the end of the match, I was like, okay, I'm just ready for the finish now. You know what I mean? Like it was like, you could have cut maybe 2 minutes off this match and it would have been stellar. But I mean, I gave it an A- too. That DDT spot that Cena tried to do out of the swing was so bad. I mean, it was a really bad botch spot. So overall, yeah, I mean that's what gave it an A- to me. But I thought it was a strong show overall, man. Again, a B-. I thought everybody's story progressed. I like the way that they're booking Cesaro. Even the guys that I've been bitching about, like Ryback looked decent tonight. Big Show looked good tonight. Everybody that needed to get shot. I mean, even Bree worked a good match with Paige. I felt like overall it was a much better Raw from last week. It's a good Raw leading into the go home week that we're about to have. I'm excited for Battleground now. I'm not stoked for it, but I'm excited. I think the show is going to be pretty good. It's sad because I feel like, the viewership is down and the promotion's been kind of poor for it. And I feel like it's actually going to be a pretty solid show. But I'm excited that they're going to ramp it up from Battleground. You know what I mean? Like these last few weeks are the last shitty weeks that we'll have to deal with for the rest of the year probably because they're going to ramp right into SummerSlam. You might have a month down because of, football season starts. But then you'll have Survivor Series and on into Royal Rumble and we'll be ready to go for Mania. So I'm excited, man. It's starting to turn the corner,
Yeah, we're getting. You know how like we had that lull in Raws because of like the post WrestleMania. We had that lull. We're getting past the post WrestleMania lull, and then we're gonna get back up on that. Not the road to WrestleMania, but the second half of the year. Like we're getting around to playoffs for WWE's year.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. I agree. We're turning the corner. I think we're gonna get better Raws, and we're gonna get maybe not better pay-per-views because we've had some pretty good pay-per-views this year. The pay-per-views have actually been pretty good this year.
Yeah, they have.
But I think we'll have better television going into the pay-per-views, which will make for better pay-per-views because they'll make sense more.
Agreed.
So I think that it's gonna be good. I think that we're gonna have some good storylines, some good TV, especially once the SummerSlam pay-per-view gets here. And once they finish up with that, they'll be starting a new, fresh set of angles for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So, and then before we know it, Mania will be here, and we'll be in Dallas.
Yeah, from what I've read, this NXT takeover that they're doing with at SummerSlam, this is supposed to be like their Mania.
It's going to be in the same arena. It's in the Barclays Center the night before.
Yeah,
so,
this is supposed to be their Mania, so it's going to be amazing. So look for NXT on Wednesday to start really kicking it up.
Yeah. Well, I've read all the spoilers for what they've already got, so I already know what happens. Like, I think this week's NXT is the end of the taping that they did, because I already know who becomes #1 contender for the tag titles and all that crap. So, I know all that. I know all that happens. So I will be watching this week, but I know what happens. The next set going into August is what's going to be like where they really ramp it up. Keep your eyes open for either Rhino's going to be Finn's first challenge, or they're going to jump straight into Finn and Joe. And I haven't decided which one I want more yet. Because I want Finn to win one. You know what I mean? Like, I want Finn. Like, so I guess I kind of want Rhino first. But at the same time, I want Rhino to be at the end of the tapings, or maybe in the middle of the tapings.
Yeah.
Where for August we could have Finn and Joe.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. You know, Finn's not going to hold the NXT title for too long because
he's going to come up,
dude. Yeah, he'll be up by Royal Rumble. So that's January, and we're already like more than halfway through the year. He's got maybe I'd say 4 months. I'd say 4 months left. He might even come up at Survivor Series.
I'd say I could see him coming for. I would like to see Balor and Owens for the U.S. title once Balor comes up. Like after the Cesaro thing. So there's a lot that they can do. I would bring Balor up sooner so you can establish him more for the Royal Rumble and all of these pay-per-views going into Mania to give him an actual Mania angle rather than don't do to Balor what you did to Hideo where you just throw him in the Battle Royal.
I agree.
Don't do that. And I don't think they will. Like we talked about at Beast in the East, I think Triple H has kind of got his hands around Balor in like a protective shield, just saying, no, my child, I will protect you. And you know what I mean? Like, I just think that's kind of what's going to happen. I think Finn, like Owens, will be taken care of when he comes to the main roster.
I agree.
But for this week, it was a pretty good week, man. It was a pretty good Raw. I was entertained for, I would say, at least 2.5 out of the 3 hours of Raw this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. 100%, man. So
WWE, if you're out there, if you're one of our 20 views, which we know you are,
give or take.
just keep putting up the good material. Don't save it all for the network. Get some on TV too.
And if you ever need any network content with a talk show, you got 2 guys right here that can carry it, no problem. So
and we're dirt poor, so we're way cheaper than Austin and Jericho. We're way
totally.
cheaper.
Totally.
Like we'll just take Mania tickets. You ain't even got to pay us actual monetary value. Like just tickets, whatever.
Tickets on the pay-per-views and transportation. Tickets and transportation. I'll pay for my hotel.
I'm a cheap bastard. You don't even need to pay my transportation. I get 40 miles to the gallon. I'll drive.
Okay, well. All right, well, I'm hopping in with you. I'll just fly down to New Orleans and we'll ride together.
There we go. That's going to do it for us for this week, guys. We'll be back next week, and we will be here for Battleground. We will be reviewing Battleground. And let's see what they do at the Go Home show. Until then, you guys have a safe week, and we'll see y'all next time.
Peace!